the executive members, sponsors, well-wishers, workers, everybody who participated, who helped us in the last general election. I want to big up the police, the security forces, the security guards around the island, those people who have their eyes open and they are there even when while the rest of us are in bed, or the rest of us are vacationing, or those persons who are retired, the executive members who are sitting by enjoying their retirement, knowing that there are persons with their eyes wide open to safeguard us against the enemy. So today we are going to speak about, well, we're lucky we have been having some rain. So I guess water harvesting is something that we will continue to practice. And I have a little bit to say about water harvesting, because that's one of the bright ideas that the Prime Minister came in home with. Kitchen garden and hobby farming and water harvesting, as though he's the one who invented that. We've been doing that for hundreds of years. My father lived to be 85 years old, and I know, growing up from a little child, that my father had 20 drums to the front of our house, and they were all connected with those metal 1-inch water lines. And after every rain, all the drums would be filled. 20 drums. Those drums were used for outside work, washing, and sometimes drinking, and probably toilets and cleaning. But we've been doing that from the time I knew myself growing up 5 years, and we had those drums. Now that I'm 100, I don't need the Prime Minister to tell me about water harvesting. When my father was doing that, Philip Pierre was a young boy in his 20s probably. My father is much, much, much older than Philip Pierre. So he's not the one who invented water harvesting. Every St. Lucian who's over 50 years would know from experience that their parents were engaged in water harvesting and having a kitchen garden, or rearing an animal, whether it's pigs or fowls or rabbits or whatever, goats or sheep. So Philip Pierre didn't invent anything. So when he's speaking as though first time people hear, as though we should be giving Philip Pierre a Nobel Prize for coming up with water harvesting. Come on. So today, because and I want when hopefully when Angie comes to the set, I wanted to verify something that I'm going to read. I carried, especially for that program, I carried an old passport of mine. That passport was, let me see. That passport expired in it was from 1990. At the time it was 5 years. Let me see what date it expired. To 1995. Okay, 24th April 1995. I'll just give a brief overview of how much it disturbs me when I hear the Prime Minister and Ernest Ile and the St. Lucia Labour Party talk about the CIP and in respect of CIP citizens versus nationals of St. Lucia. You know, and if you've been involved in law enforcement, you have no choice but to just feel, ashamed of the situation that we have found ourselves in. And I hold no brief for Ralph Gonsalves. Ralph Gonsalves is a man I never followed. I never like his politics, because Ralph Gonsalves, in my view, I heard certain people who are now on the Labour Party criticize Ralph Gonsalves for his private practice as a lawyer, who he was kosher with before he came into politics. I heard certain things about him, and that's why I'm not hot about Ralph Gonsalves. Ralph Gonsalves was the Prime Minister of St. Vincent for how many terms? 5. And I personally never heard Ralph Gonsalves talk about drugs, especially marijuana cultivation in St. Vincent. And at the time, there was that trade between St. Vincent and St. Lucia involving marijuana versus trading for carpets, electrical equipment, and so on and so on and so on from St. Lucia. We know that trade was going on. Did you ever hear Ralph Gonsalves ever say anything about that illegal trade? That's why I'm not a big fan of Ralph Gonsalves. And also Kenny Anthony. Because Kenny Anthony was the one who brought up us to that CIP. Knowing, as a lawyer, how dangerous that whole scenario was. And now that he's saying he never trusted it, he always had his views about it, and he was not really confident about it. As a lawyer, you knew better. Ralph Gonsalves is a lawyer just like you. You all look alike a lot. And Ralph Gonsalves is no fool. So Kenny Anthony, you knew well what you were getting us involved in. So today I brought my old passport. I've spoken about that before. And the reason I brought my passport is because the passport has notes to the back, the last page of the passport. Okay, the passport reads, warning, this passport is the property of the government of St. Lucia. Alterations, additions, or mutilation of entries is prohibited. And it goes on to say further, any unofficial change will render the passport invalid. Now, I must tell you, this is the first time I became a passport holder. When was this passport issued, boy? 1990. Yes, 1990. And this is the first time I'm leaving home with that passport, and I'm not traveling, heading to the airport to travel. First time. And I can tell you, as recent as 2 years ago, when I was still in service as a police officer, every time somebody comes to the station to report a lost passport, they are interrogated. A statement has to be taken. When did you last see the passport? Where was the passport? why did you have the passport where you had it? Because some persons are claiming that they're using the passport to go down for identification if they have a check to change in it to IDs and so on. Or some people just naturally like to carry the passport in their handbag, especially the ladies, if they go into town. Why are you going to town with your passport? Why do you need to take your passport from the secured vault at your home, or locker or cupboard, or grip or briefcase at your home, to take to town to cash a check for your passport? So the police view those claims with suspicious eyes. I can tell you that. Anytime you come to report your passport lost, you have to come with very good, know that you definitely cannot find that passport. And so, the police take you and they obtain a statement from you. And then after that statement, they may, if they have the time and if it's convenient, they may proceed straight to your house with you, or where you last saw that passport, to verify that you have searched your area, or to help you search. If it's your home, to search. I have had cause to do that as a corporal and as a sergeant of police, to go to investigate lost passport and present a report so that a report can be generated so that you can get a replacement of your passport. That is how sensitive the issue of securing your passport is. And you see what I'm telling you there? You can go to any police station around the island and they will verify what I'm telling you there. Anyway, and I can tell you, we get a lot, the police receive a lot of reports of lost passport. Because some people are just careless, in my opinion. And I just told you, that this is the first time I am leaving my house with that passport. Well, it's an old passport. It's not my new good passport. It's an old one. But it's the first time I'm leaving my home, my house, with a passport, and I'm not heading to travel. But the passport contains a number of other notes. And during the time, this show, I'm going to read it just to let you know how sensitive that passport business is. So when CIP came along, I was there, and I thought to myself, why are politicians, why should a politician venture to sell the country's passport to make money? I mean, that's even worse than selling drugs, you know. And over the weekend, I heard a talk show person say that our government was selling passport just like the zombies would steal their own family possession to buy cocaine, to sell to buy cocaine. It got to a point where locals could not get their passports renewed. And CIP passports were being generated by hundreds for sale. I know that. I am not asking you that. I am telling you that. Because I worked in the same building that housed the immigration department. I worked in that building during the time when we were not obtaining our passports for that 2 years, COVID time and beyond. I worked there. So I know what I'm telling you there. The passport office is on the 3rd floor of the building. My office is on the 1st floor of the building. So moi sav ki sa mwen ka de ou la. Alright? I have seen it firsthand. So Hilaire and Philippe Pierre cannot fool me with the nonsense that they're talking. Those guys know nothing about passports. The passports are to be handled by the immigration department. The immigration officer, the chief immigration officer, if there is not one appointed, the commissioner holds that office, or the inspector or the officer in charge of the immigration department. As far as I know, prior to CIP, passports were only handled by the immigration department. Once CIP came, it was all mass. Once you allow politicians, especially politicians who are lawyers, to put their hands on something valuable like passport, you will get cuckoo macaque happening. And we can have a bigger cuckoo macaque. I don't know which gorilla will have a bigger cuckoo macaque than the cuckoo macaque we have found ourselves in in relation to passport. Alright? If there was ever a cuckoo macaque going on in St. Lucia, it was, or it is, this passport scandal involving the St. Lucia Labour Party. Now note I said St. Lucia Labour Party because just like St. Jude's, just like that scandal, just like Plywood City, just like COVID unrest, all those things are pointing on and involve one party, and that's the St. Lucia Labour Party. Nobody out there who's saying me can doubt what I'm telling you. Alright? But we're going to read, and finally, let me just say, well, not finally, but for the moment, let me just read something. The first page of the inner page, the inner leaf of the passport. The Minister of External Affairs of St. Lucia hereby requests, in the name of Her Majesty, all those whom it may concern to permit the citizen or citizens of St. Lucia, name herein, to pass freely without let or hindrance, and to afford the said citizens such lawful assistance and protection as may be necessary. The corresponding page or the next page would have your passport, St. Lucia, number of passport, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, name of bearer, Mr. John Doe, -- national status, citizen of St. Lucia. A citizen of St. Lucia is a citizen of the British Commonwealth. Then the next page would have description of bearer, your name, profession, date of birth, place of birth, place of residence, registration number, height, color of eyes, color of hair, special peculiarities, and so on. Next would have your picture, and then it would have it would state that the validity of the passport expires, and at the time that was a 5-year passport, so it was from 1990 to 1995. Finally, on that passport, and one of my main reasons for bringing it is in 1990, I must tell you, whilst we were at training, 1989, whilst we were training in Barbados, we left St. Lucia with a blank passport. And we went to Barbados as police recruits. And we had no other corresponding documents, just our passport. And we went there in our police uniform with our short pants and caps and shirt, St. Lucia shirt, police shirt. And all 23 of us, we handed the immigration officials our passport for American visas. And they told us come back before the end of the day. And when we came back to collect it, we all got multiple indefinite visas. Now, Angie, I've taken a seat. So I will make Angie verify what I'm saying there. Just now, Angie. Mm-hmm. So Angie, I want you to tell the people.
So now I'm the immigration officer now?
Yeah. I want you to tell the people. I have a black stamp on that. Tell them what that stamp is saying. And give them the date of the passport.
It says here, September 5th, 1990. Wow. Boy, Foster, I don't want to remember how old I was at that time. September 5th, 1990. So it says here, the United States of America non-immigrant visa, Bridgetown, 15th May 1990. Multiple.
Go down, there's a stamp.
No, hold on.
Yeah. You can read anything there is. That's an old passport. Tell the people.
No. You see, I can read it. I'm just not able to without my glasses.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, go and get it,
let me get my eyes.
Because it's important that the people here. I want you the auditor. I want you to verify. So people, Angie is getting her glasses because it's very important.
Yeah.
I forgot my glasses too, but I wanted to read the small prints on that passport.
The small print, Jesus.
It's very important that the people. Now we don't get a chance to read them things because we have a passport and we don't even care about
Foster, you sure that's you?
Yeah, that's me, Angie.
Guys, you all need to see that, you know. I should post a picture. You know when they tell you somebody looking siaks? I seen a young man in front of me there. I want let me see. Let me verify, Foster. Is that you?
You the auditor, I tell you. So that's why you're there.
Guys, let me tell you. All of your ladies, if you all were seeing that photo, all of your ladies would be fanning yourselves by now. U.S. Immigration, A.A. Foster. So it says here, non-immigrant visa issued at Bridgetown, 16th May 1990. But you have a stamp on here that says cancelled without prejudice.
Right.
American Embassy, Bridgetown. So why is it cancelled?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
But you
now go 2 pages further. Mm-hmm. You would see another visa.
Yes.
That's a US visa again, right?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so I think this was expired.
No, they were running valid at the same time. Check the date on
Oh,
the
this
first
one
one.
says 16th May 1990, and the other one says 26 June 1992. Okay.
So you see,
1990 to
there's a
1995,
TDY.
yeah.
There's a TDY something written in pen there.
It says here, yeah, TDY.
Okay.
And it says 16th May 1990 to 15th May 1995, but then you have a second one which says 26 June 1992.
Okay, so that's 2 years difference.
But-
so that means that both visas were valid.
But
And
why?
both US visas
How is
were
that
valid.
possible? But it says multiple, so I don't know what that means.
Right. Now let me explain to the people why. I have 2 visas. That's why I wanted to give Richard Frederick that old passport.
Can I have it?
You can have
I
it.
go?
You can have it.
I think they might arrest me. I don't know.
So, Angie, as a trained police officer, we were given this passport, this American TDY visa.
What's a TDY visa?
It's a visa that facilitates you moving through the islands to do training, because we used to go to trade winds. That was a military training program
I've heard of
held
this.
in Puerto Rico.
I've heard of this before.
Right. So the Americans were the ones conducting, and English, were jointly conducting those operations, those trainings in Puerto Rico. So we were given that TDY passport and visa to facilitate travel for training, military training.
Okay.
Now I'll show you this photo.
See,
All right?
if I thought the
Don't
passport
put out,
picture was
don't put out
sex.
all my business.
Guys, let me tell you all something. It's getting hot in here and the AC on full blast, I will tell you that.
So
I need to put on my glasses to make sure it's Foster I seen there, because I seen some kind of stuff. Guys, ladies, it probably steaming. If y'all start sweating now, it'll start steaming just now. If y'all saw those photos, let me look at it. I'll describe it to y'all. If y'all see my partner with his M16 in his camouflage, Foster, camouflage is illegal, you know.
you know what? That's within the same time frame.
How you all
know.
decked out with that? Foster, them big guns. That is this legal? I just want to know.
Police, I am. I can fire. According to the Jamaicans, I fire. Ninja man say I fire all them things. Huh?
So is this in St. Lucia? That doesn't look like St.
That
Lucia.
photo is in St. Lucia.
Ah, yes. Okay, I
If
see
you
the
look
flag.
well,
I
you
see the flag.
the-
I see the flag.
Right.
I see the flag.
That was an amphibious training we did. Now, amphibious training is water training.
This one is you, eh?
Now, I think
That one is you.
that me?
That one is you.
In the-
Look
in
at
the
the look
photo?
at the way you walk. The person stand up. That's you.
No, Angie, you missed me there.
I'm.
I'm the second.
Let me look at that.
I'm the second person.
Eh. But Foster, where you get
You
that
see?
mustache from? Ladies,
You see, after these guys.
ladies, if you're listening, I see a gentleman in the corner there. I say, okay, that's Foster. But Foster hiding with a mustache. Foster, where you get that mustache from?
Last time I was a combat person, at that time, Angie.
And you were combating with the mustache.
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay.
So the reason for the cancellation of that visa is that when I was returning and check the date, I think it says 1992. September 1992, the second visa.
Yeah, it says that.
I was coming from the United States from a military training. And when I got to the immigration desk in what state we were in, boy? West Virginia. The immigration officer said, "But you have 2 American visas." I say, "Well, yes." So the guy just took a stump.
And he just killed one.
He killed one. Cancel without prejudice. That's why that stump is there. All right? I didn't do anything. I didn't go back door. I didn't go front door. I didn't go
Well,
side
they
door.
left you with one. You had to.
And the gentleman tell me, but you don't need 2 visas. You can travel, you can come to the United States. You have 1 visa already. You don't need 2. Why you have 2?
Well, because you special, I guess.
Right.
So you have some people here. So I heard you talking about visas and stuff. But what your British visa?
Boy,
You
I
didn't need
never
that?
applied for one.
You did-
I didn't need one. But you see, we still don't need one.
Actually, we do.
Well, we need one now.
Yeah, we do.
Thanks to the St. Lucia Labour Party
Yeah.
and the officials
And as I was
who
saying,
don't understand how things supposed to be.
what I was saying earlier today, they put out this release, the ambassador talking about an unprecedented influx of requests for asylum.
Asylum, yes.
But what they are not saying, and what the Home Secretary said, this influx of requests for asylum is not coming from, it's not coming from natural born St. Lucians. It's coming from CIP St. Lucians.
Because they link the number of the 5,000, whatever, 600. As from that influx, they just saw the numbers 400%. So it cannot be us.
No, we're only 180,000 people, if so many, because we have not deducted those who died due to accidents, those who died due to gun violence and violent crime, those who died due to COVID, those who died due to other illnesses. So
Angie, that's why I
it
tell you.
cannot be us.
That's why I tell you.
And-
I feel insulted by this government, you know. That's why I brought this passport. I have, if you're a passport holder, if you are a driver's license holder, if you are a firearm license holder, you're a holder. Those things are not yours. That's the property of the government of St. Lucia.
But it says so
St.
on
Lucia
the back.
government.
It says so on the
Why are you
back.
giving it to all pappy show people?
Listen, it says right here.
You know?
It says right here. And I will read it out loud for people because people don't seem to understand the importance of these documents. It says right here. This passport is a valuable document. It should be safeguarded with the utmost care and not allowed to pass into the possession of any unauthorized person. If lost, damaged, or destroyed in St. Lucia, the fact and circumstances should be immediately reported to the Immigration Office, Castries, St. Lucia. If lost, damaged, or destroyed abroad, the report should be made to the nearest St. Lucia diplomatic or consular authority, or where there is no such St. Lucia authority, to the nearest British diplomatic and consular authority and the local police.
Angie, read the first line that you just read there in that
This
paragraph.
passport is a valuable document.
Go ahead.
It should be safeguarded with the utmost care and not allowed to pass into the possession of any unauthorized person.
Hold on there. Stop there. For the purpose of, for healer's sake and Philippia's sake. You see that word authorized, unauthorized
One more
person?
thing, one more
Yes.
thing. Warning.
Yeah.
It says here, warning.
Yeah.
This passport is the property of the government of St. Lucia.
Right.
And it says warning.
Now you see that word unauthorized person? That is what I challenge the CIP on from its inception. Angie, you're probably not old enough to remember. We have had a passport scandal here in St. Lucia. You must have heard about that, but you're probably too young to remember.
Which one is that? Because we remember
Involving police. Police were alleged to have been given Guyanese nationals and Jamaicans, whatever, passports saying that they were St. Lucians.
I remember a time when persons' passports were being stolen and sold to Guyanese.
Right.
I remember that.
Now, a police sergeant skipped town. I think his name was Reese. I don't know if he was St. Lucian. And I know a W woman police constable who was arrested. She was on remand. She was being taken to court in Castries. I was a policeman already.
Somebody saying on the WhatsApp platform, Angie, good day. So amazing that from the time that government took office, every time jazz and carnival is on the way, this prime minister, upon instructions of the bacchanal guys, he has to borrow a huge sum of money. I didn't see it time that it would have been so vast. I'm hearing that this person obviously is referring to the $600 million.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Question. So it's no longer Madi Puite? What? Remember, before Alan Shastney wanted to borrow $5, it was Madi Puite, Madi Puite, Madi Puite. What day is it? What's it now?
Madi Vole.
Somebody's asking you, Mr. Chico, which rain? So you have rain that other people don't have, Chico?
Rain.
Did you say something about rain? Somebody wants to know, where is the rain?
Oh, earlier on I said it's raining, so we can do a water harvesting. Well, we have had some rain in Castries, right? I don't know where you live, but if you're in the south, probably you have no rain before. Or grossly.
Somebody's saying, no matter how long something has been known or practiced, Philip believes that he should be crowned because he says it or
Because he
supports
said it.
it.
Yes.
Well, I know he don't like being vilified or ridiculed. Somebody says, these are the things that the police are supposed to do. Who knows if they are practicing that custom? In addition, how many of the officers even know these protocols? Remember, this government doesn't have any knowledge of training importance and effectiveness. Wow, somebody is asking a very important question here. The person says, and I quote, good day, Mr. Foster and Angie. Question, is the briefcase an authorized third-party agent for our St. Lucian passports? Foster?
As far as I know, yes. Now, I was once accused of being the one to put the briefcase under the microscope, and I don't know how they accused me of that, because
You were in the briefcase too? Foster has a lot of secrets, people. Somebody tell me, take a deep breath, don't sweat. Let me tell you, my girl, I tried. I did. I fanned myself a little bit. I did. I sat down under the AC. I'm good now.
Angie, you recall when we had people who come in from Vieux-Fort 4 o'clock in the morning to apply for their passport?
Yes.
And all that racket started? This government started that racket. All that time, Angie, we couldn't get our passport renewed to travel, to go to Barbados.
Now, the price of the passports...
You know, CIP passports were being manufactured there by the hundreds and thousands.
Listen, I heard stories that all Sunday passports, people are in the immigration department.
Angie, that's true.
Working on
I tell you, I
passports.
worked in the same building that housed the immigration department.
So I don't know if immigration... Somebody's saying, Foster, can you please elaborate on the briefcase being an authorized agent?
Angie, during my deliberations with the briefcase,
So you deliberated with the briefcase.
at one time, there was some hanky-panky going on, allegedly, between the briefcase and the police. Because people were wondering how the briefcase getting 20 passports and Anjika get us, which is one.
And I still haven't
can get
gotten mine.
So, but what the briefcase is involved in is the briefcase process your passport for you, and they bring it in for you. They collect it on your behalf and you pay them. If it's $10, you pay them $2, you pay them whatever for the fee. But where the problem arose really, was that somebody at the immigration department was trying to enforce the rule that if you have 10, if you bring in, you cannot bring in 10 passports. You have to bring in, the maximum is, let us say, 2. So if you have 10 to apply for on behalf of people, you have to send 5 persons.
Ah, okay, I understand.
That was what brought the contention with the briefcase and make people suspicious of the briefcase. Now, during my interaction with certain people who thought that I was the one who threw fire on the briefcase, I wasn't the one. All I said about and I didn't know who the briefcase was at the time. I wasn't even in St. Lucia at that time.
So, Foster. Hold on. So you were not in St. Lucia. You were...
Norbert Williams was alive, you know. Norbert Williams had that program, and I called in to the program. So you can see I wasn't the one who initiated the discussion. It was a keeping it real program. I called, but my contention was, how does a GP
because the
charge persons
the individual in charge of the passport, of the briefcase, is a GP. He's actually a very good friend of mine, by the way.
Well, my friend, actually, I know that person longer. I didn't even know that was the people that were involved in the briefcase.
And this person, when I heard about this, I was quite shocked. I'm saying, I know this individual personally. I know that this individual is a straight-up kind of person. I don't expect any to use your words, hanky-panky from this individual. But then person started, I think the problem was that persons were seeing that, hey, this individual is making a living bringing in all those passports for others, and I'm on this line,
right, scrunting,
yes, begging, scrunting, and
that was the whole point, It wasn't any illegality.
It was not illegal, but people were thinking it was unfair, and I see the point.
I saw people. I saw genuine people had a genuine reason to.
Yeah, because it really was unfair. It's like you're coming in, you're blocking up.
Right.
If there's a quota to process passports for a day, because of course it's not AI processing the passports, it's individual persons.
Yes.
So when you do this, you're depriving me,
right,
who is coming with one passport,
yes,
of a space to get my stuff done.
Right.
And it put people in an untenable position, because now people had to find monies, because you need your passport now if you have to leave for something, and you now have to find extra money to pay to get it done. So I think people had a genuine
reason to
feel concerned and to query about this.
Yes.
But then
But the authorities
This
and you
government,
could have just
this
said
government came out and say, "Oh, we're going to have an investigation,
right.
and this is going to be."
that was the minister again who said that.
Dr. Virginia Albert Poyet.
Where is she? Where is she?
By the way,
Where is she?
she's in the Senate. She's my favorite minister.
She's still around?
Yeah, she's a senator now.
So when she left as a minister and she went back to the Senate?
Yeah, she went back to the Senate. She was in the Senate.
Lord.
She tried out for the government, for the parliament. She didn't like it. She came back to the Senate, I guess. Paraphrasing.
Angie, you put it mild.
Yeah, I'm trying to nice it up because she is honestly, she's my favorite minister on both sides.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, she is. Let me tell you why. Because she was always so sweet, always talking about, we were always talking about each other's outfits because the lady likes to dress. And those wigs were on point. I haven't seen her in action since the start of this new parliament, but yeah, she was my favorite minister back in the day. She was always.
Well, the next time you see her.
And the last time I spoke to her was the day of the incident at parliament, and she was like, "Oh, why are you dressed like this?" She was very disappointed because she said, "Why are you dressed like this? I almost didn't recognize you. You don't normally dress like this."
If your shirt was red,
it was.
She wouldn't have.
It was.
You had a red shirt for true.
Yeah, my shirt was
probably
red.
That's what she was disappointed about. Not what was written on your shirt.
She didn't mind what was written. She was like,
all those people are jokers.
I was wearing a t-shirt and jeans. She'd never seen me in that before, so she was like, "Oh, what's going on? This isn't you." She know I always. By the way, Foster.
Next time you meet her, Angie, tell her, ask her where's the report on the briefcase investigation.
Probably in her briefcase. I don't know. Foster, leave me alone.
Boy, this place is a real comic place.
So somebody's asking, how does one become an authorized agent facilitating passport applications?
Now that question, that's a simple one.
Yes,
I have no idea.
Because the person
that's
is
why I tell you read that twice.
How does one become an authorized agent facilitating passport applications? Because in the United States, not anyone can do this. It's government agencies like libraries that are authorized to do so. And somebody else is saying here, "Hi, Angie, good afternoon. I have been in and out of the program. I have a death in my family."
Wow.
Oh.
Sorry to hear that.
I'm very sorry to hear that. And of course, on behalf of the management and staff of Fire FM, I do extend my deepest condolences to another one of my favorite, this is my favorite listener though. I'm really sorry for your loss. Boy, it's been going around.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, here's the thing. Somebody says, Falster, while all the CBI passports are being processed over the processing of local citizens' passports, what would be the situation if you were to report this situation as an officer? So if you
Angie, I always had a problem with my friends who, as I said, I worked in the same building, and my friends would meet me on the stairway and they would ask me, Chico, I'm going to check my passport. You don't have Linkman. Everybody, one thing is St. Lucian's boy, you must have a link somewhere.
Well,
You have a Linkman to assign it that passport. I've been up and down. You have a link, I bring it in already. Finally, they accepted it. It's been 2 months. I've been here twice. And I tell them, listen, you see the food floor of that building? I don't even know if there is a food floor.
wow.
That's where immigration is.
Is that
I'm on the first floor.
when the building immigration was housed in the Lamar building?
At Lamar building. I was on the first floor. The office was third floor.
Yeah, I remember.
And I never go past the second floor.
Wow.
You can be my friend, you can be my wife. My wife applies for my passport for me. I don't go upstairs there.
Wow. You have a good wife. I wouldn't walk up all those stairs for my husband.
So, Angie, I'm telling you, that's my view on that whole passport, and especially, I tell you, I used to feel ashamed.
Yeah.
The people used to tell you, officer, you're just passing there and you're not even concerned about. People used to be queued up from the top floor to the pavement,
Yeah, I've seen that.
of that building.
I
I am telling you that
seen
too,
that.
Angie. You have seen it too, but I'm telling you, I lived it every day. I walk past those people to my office every day. And this government said nothing. Oh, no, Miss Poyot, I don't think she ever came to that building.
I'm pretty sure she knew where the building was.
You think she knew?
I think so.
You think Philippia knew or Unesile knew?
I'm not sure about those two, but Poyot must have known where it was. But
That's why I tell you, I feel ashamed that today those guys can blame people, St. Lucians in England, for the nonsense that they did.
But listen, I would not even repeat, because I went to get the press conference deliberately, and I played it. And I can play it for you if you want to hear it. They're saying this AC is working too hard. I'm gonna have to give it a break. So if you go to the excuse me, if you go to the Office of the Prime Minister's Facebook page, you will see a video. Sorry. You will see a video, Foster, from the ambassador saying that there has
British?
been the British ambassador saying that there has been an unprecedented amount of asylum applications
Yeah.
from St. Lucian nationals. And I don't doubt that for a second. But what I do doubt is that these St. Lucian nationals are natural born St. Lucians. Because if they were natural born St. Lucians, why would the Home Secretary state, and I quote, that our visa-free access has created a back door into their country. And I can play both messages for you, and you can put two and two together. You understand? They're saying it has created a back door. Why would she say that? Why would she use these exact words if it were natural-born St. Lucians? Because during the Windrush era, and listen to me carefully, you know about the Windrush era, Foster?
Yes, yes.
St. Lucians, Dominicans, Grenadians, Antiguans, from the north of the archipelago all the way down to the south, all the way down to Guyana, Sri Lanka, Hong Kong, Pakistan, India, all persons. Well, Windrush is mostly the Windward Islands, but I'm just saying, British overseas citizens from throughout the empire, throughout the Windward Islands, throughout the Caribbean, from Jamaica to Guyana, were allowed to come to the UK to work. And it was never a problem. Why is it a problem now? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because persons hardly migrate. You in your community, Foster, if you hear 2 people go to the UK, 50 of them have gone to the US. Another 25 have gone to Canada.
Yes.
People don't go to the UK that much.
And more elderly people go to.
Yes.
The young people have
They're going to the US
They favor the US.
because the UK is a bit slow.
US is not fast paced like America.
Exactly.
So to tell me you're going to go and seek asylum in England, that's almost ridiculous to say as a government.
It's not something that our people do so much.
Angie, I only know one family member of mine. Well, one family that have gone to England. In that vast family of
And
mine,
let me tell you something.
only one side of that family.
Several of the individuals who've gone to England, they're coming back home.
Yes.
So many of these individuals go there, and this is not a joke. People immigrate to England. They work, they save their money, they build houses down here, they buy property, and they come back home.
Yes. Yes.
The persons who stay, and these are the ones that have emigrated to Canada and to the US. Those who go to England, they come back home.
And Angie, lately, you heard from them that a lot of those people would want to come to retire here.
Yes.
But because of the medical and the condition
and here's the thing,
poor medicals,
they go back to England
and they die there because they cannot live here. If they stay here, you cannot give up what you have in England, all your benefits, all your medical benefits, and come here and expect to live a normal life in St. Lucia. When you have lived your whole life in England, Angie.
Yeah. Most individuals who travel to the UK, who immigrate to the UK, they only go for a time. So to say that this is a immigration asylum seeking, nobody seeks asylum in the UK. You don't need to. You don't need to. Because listen, we are British overseas territory citizens.
The British have been so accommodating to us, man.
So when these people talk that foolishness, and they say that,
I tell you, Angie, we should be protesting.
Of course.
I feel ashamed to hear that kind of stupid talk on our radio.
I am embarrassed myself. I cannot believe. I'm serious. I
hear government pushing that kind of nonsense.
And
when you were told, you were warned.
Yep.
Stop selling passports to Russians and Iranians.
Yep.
Those people don't want to.
They didn't.
Now you have a problem, and you have a problem now, and you see St. Lucians who are living going to England and come back. As the Prime Minister, appealing to St. Lucian, don't overstay your visa. Don't come back when you. Since when? Filipinos people going to England. Since when? All in a sudden.
All in a sudden. Please use the words that the Prime Minister has taught.
All in a sudden.
All in a sudden.
You'll have turned our passport into toilet paper.
Yeah. Yep.
You and Healy.
Listen, Foster.
And the CIP board and those stupid people.
Foster, I'm about to give you some very bad news. I'm hearing through the
More bad news?
Yeah. I'm hearing through the grapevine that St. Lucians will now need visas to go to Maria Islet, Rat Islet, and the Frigate Islands.
Well, once it's to cross the sea, Angie, that ain't bothering me because I ain't going nowhere. The only business I have in the sea is if I stand on a rock and I throw my fishing line in the water. A rock in St. Lucia.
Well, Foster...
Not even Rat Island I'm going to. Well, let's go anyway on a plane again.
You wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to because you're going to need a visa. And the bird shit rock in in Pigeon Point. It coming soon, Coming soon. You're going to need ETA. I'm just saying. just to sit on the rock. You cannot. Somebody saying here,
Boy, I tell you.
Angie, I can remember my daughter visited me in Martinique with her grandson 1 year, 4 months, and she had to pay. Wow, she had to pay more than 600 for the child passport. Such a shame. Another says, Angie, some St. Lucians do seek asylum. When Vieux-Fort was an escalated crime zone, a lot left St. Lucia and asked for it. But let me ask you a question. Do you blame these individuals for seeking asylum? When Vieux-Fort... Y'all have to understand, guys. St. Lucia has become quite unsafe in the past couple of years.
No, but Angie, another question for the government and the Prime Minister. Let us say that claim is true about the asylum seekers. What is the government prepared to do? Because there are particular reasons why people apply for asylum. Political refugees, criminals running away from crime. And what's the other one? War. St. Lucia has war. St. Lucia crime rate is so high that people have to run to seek shelter elsewhere in England. So what's the government doing about it? So why has Philip Pierre been so quiet about all the killings in Marshall in his constituency?
Because...
Why is he not speaking?
Because... the Prime Minister and his cabinet of ministers, as long as they remain...
They would
in
have
the
diplomatic passports.
They have
so
diplomatic passports.
Alva Baptiste is calling himself...
And... remember what he said. He said, and I quote...
He said he hope he still has a visa.
Hold on.
I hope so too, Mr. Pierre.
Hold on. The Prime Minister has said that when you are putting these things out there in the open, in the hopes that you are hurting him, you're not hurting him, you're just hurting the country.
Yeah, because he has a passport, a visa.
Apparently, he is not the one responsible for the country. So you're hurting the country. He ain't real worry about that. He's not involved. That's what he's saying.
That's what the man said. That's what he said.
That is what he's saying. So, according to the Prime Minister, why are you getting so excited, Foster? Why
I just feeling bad, Angie, because I telling you, as somebody who know how people can.
But Foster, you'll get your passports back. Why are you so excited?
No, but the British, after the investigation, they may send some of our citizens back here, when they find out that their claims are false, so they are not St. Lucian born citizens, and they send them back here, those fellas with the long hair and the curly hair St. Lucian citizens that they sell passports for.
You mean those from Vieux-Fort?
Yeah.
Oh. because my daughter is a curly-haired St. Lucian citizen, and and if I don't take care of my ancestors at the back there too well, somebody here is saying Vieux-Fort, but yet we can't blame only born Lucians. Oh, that person is repeat. Okay, so what the person is really saying, Angie, some Lucians do seek asylum. When Vieux-Fort was an escalating crime zone, a lot left St. Lucia asked for it, but yet we can't blame only born Lucians. Somebody says, again, well said, Foster, when these people come to St. Lucia with these old roads, no healthcare, no water, no housing, so what these people coming back to St. Lucia for? Another said, why Anson Maxwell saying is Shas and Minerva that putting this thing out? Really? Listener, there was an entire press conference, not half of one, an entire press conference.
People like that guy. That guy don't have a radio at his house. Those guys,
Be nice, Foster, be nice.
those guys don't understand English. They don't understand patois, but they want to comment on everything. And everything Philip Pierre says is like the first time they're hearing it. The general spoke.
Well,
That general, Saddam Hussein called himself a general, And you know where they found him hiding when the Americans went to look for him?
where?
In a bunker. He thought the bunker was locked. He locked himself in a bunker some 100 feet down under the ground. And the Americans just opened that and just tell him, "Good morning, Mr. Saddam Hussein."
Well, Foster.
But you have a general here who doesn't know when the war starts, what's the war, who's fighting the war,
Sorry, sad state of affairs.
and he called himself a general. But
Sorry, sad
Angie is going to
state
get
of affairs.
a lot worse before it gets better. And one of the main reasons, Angie, when I earlier on in the program, I spoke about us being afforded permits and passports and driver's license, as holders, so that we can make our lives would be better. We can drive around, we can travel, we can
Yeah.
do certain things because we have certain valid. Once it's valid, it authorizes you to drive, it authorizes you to go places and so on. And I am saying that to bring up a point. When you see we have no respect for following the law, you recall a year ago or a year and a half ago when the police did a particular raid and they came up or intercepted a number of fraudulent driver's licenses. Did you ever ask yourself, did you ever hear how those matters were ventilated in the court? If they got there? Did you ever hear anything about that?
Well, as far as I know, the court has ventilation issues. Didn't they close the court for poor ventilation? I'm kidding, but of course, Foster, these things don't come out. These things are not publicized. People, the St. Lucians have become so complacent.
The authorities, Angie, the authorities don't care. Because let me tell you something. I know what happened. The police spoke to certain people, but because some people were connected, and you know who I'm talking about, some persons were connected. What did they do? They just shifted them around.
Yeah. Yep.
I tell you, that's why I feel insulted by Philip Pierre and Ernest Hilaire. When I hear those guys speak, I feel like I want to say certain things that I cannot say on radio, Angie, I did an investigation into fraudulent driver's licenses at the Ministry of Infrastructure, I had one guy arrested.
Wow.
Pending trial. Fortunate for the guy, he died. Fortunate for him, he died. But that guy told me the link, because everybody had a link.
Ah, okay.
The guy told me the link that was going on for fraudulent licenses being sold for $1,500.
Wow.
They would issue you a driver's license card in town, it's still hot, Angie. Laminated, it's still hot. He wasn't the only one.
Foster said, coming out still hot. It's coming in hot like my theme song. But we have some people who are chiming in here. Somebody says, so who is the country, Angie? Another says, and don't forget, light in color looking like Shas. I think that person is talking about the new St. Lucian citizen. Somebody says, well, we didn't put anything out. The UK did. Another says, Angie, the same thing PJP said when Donald Trump put visa restrictions. Don't overstay on your visa. Another says, did you listen to the Prime Minister today at the press conference? Can you please play the clip of what he said about the issue with the UK visa? I actually did not listen.
Do you have it?
But I do have his press conference. Problem is, if I go through this now and play the clip, people will start signing out. They do that all the time. It's very hurtful.
Yeah.
The listeners hurt my, I have to tell you guys that you hurt my heart a lot. Every time I try to listen to whatever the Prime Minister says, I get a barrage of messages and calls.
For 300.
People tell me they don't want to hear this man. Please stop playing this. I'm going to sign off. I have to go. I can't listen. And I feel very hurt, guys, because I'm simply trying to bring you the information as it, the facts as they appear. But you guys are so, y'all are so mean.
Yeah. I want to second the
so
callers.
They are so mean to me,
because
Foster.
I have to eat a whole teaspoon of salt when I.
So it's bad for your blood pressure. That's what you're saying.
Philippe, let me tell you, Philippe murders the English language. Who told him that he could explain in English better than the English ambassador? Who told him that?
I don't know. Did somebody tell him that?
Apparently,
who would do such a thing?
I started hearing something earlier on another program, and I said, but what language is Philippe speaking?
Who would do such a thing, Foster? Who would say that? Who would put us in such a predicament? I don't understand. But yeah, the listeners are very mean to me anytime I try to listen to anything Philip JPS says.
They're right. I have to give them the right.
They get very upset with me.
Honestly.
I get messages even on my personal phone. I think that's why my phone committed ID-side a few days ago. Decided it couldn't take anymore because people were messaging me and saying, come on, man, if you don't turn this off, I'm not going to be listening anymore. It was very hurtful. But somebody says, Angie, Pierre said, Pierre said it, put yourself before country, and it's not St. Lucians that's seeking asylum, it's Hila's henchmen from Russia, Iran, etc. Our passport is also in Sudan. Somebody sent me a clip.
They're Africans with our passport.
Listen,
they're Nigerians. There are Iranians. There are Russians.
I was very appalled. I have to say, I was very appalled to see someone unboxing our passport as if it were the latest Gucci purse. I felt insulted. I felt very disrespected as a St. Lucian citizen because who does that? Our passport, our sovereignty is now simply the latest accessory to persons from other countries. It hurts the pride in a way, Somebody says, Anson Maxwell is a dumpster. Don't worry about him. Wow. He doesn't and can't understand English, so it's not his fault. I don't know who that person is.
English language is not the guy's first language,
I wonder what is. Somebody says, Foster, he's only saying this, hoping to distract and rechannel people's minds. For centuries, people have been overstaying when they travel. This overstaying is a huge part of the St. Lucian economy. Tourism, as they kill, while trying desperately to increase the market. as well as these people increasing the St. Lucia nationals abroad being able to send and spend money back home. Somebody says, Angie, you know it, don't be afraid to say it. Good afternoon. Somebody says, good point, Foster, on these fake citizens being deported to St. Lucia. Another is saying, Anson can't even go to St. Lucia in his own country because he has no status. Anson, sit down and keep quiet. I tell you, these people they're not messing around. Somebody said, but Foster, all of that is corruption, and all those people involved in this issue with the fraudulent driver's licenses should have been arrested and taken before the court.
But they were not. Some persons were questioned, and because they have links, the police had a handoff towards them, and that just disappeared. I have charged persons and convicted them for fraudulent driver's licenses. What is the big case in that the police cannot prosecute that? You get people with driver's license, you impound their vehicles, you arrest them, and you cannot bring them to court. Something is wrong with our justice system, Angie.
Well, somebody says PJP is nothing but a general mistake being repeated, period. Okay. Somebody says, true. Another says, this country has gone to nowhere. St. Lucia is bleeding. My gosh. Somebody says PJP eats up part of the speech.
He's always eating half of the speech.
Somebody says Anson Self, another one that has to be deported back to St. Lucia to plant and eat what he grow and harvest water. The Sahot. Somebody says this PJP read like he's in infant school. My goodness.
Somebody
guys.
told me Philip
nice.
taught them what, English at school?
Are they sure?
Primary school?
Did they say it was his mother? Because I heard that his mother was a teacher.
No, he taught at secondary or somewhere. I can't believe that.
Maybe I shouldn't ask. I was going to ask what exactly did he teach, but
water harvesting.
I'm afraid you might answer me, so I think maybe I should stop. Somebody say, today going to work, a guy came and sat next to me. He asked me, is the bus going Grosley? I couldn't understand what he was saying. Then he showed me something on his phone. He said he's from Ireland. He said that he's looking for a house, and that's his first time in St. Lucia. Somebody says, tell Answell Maxwell, go on a Minister of Carrying Luggage show. Wow. You guys are brutal. Y'all are scaring me right now. I just need you all to know. Somebody said you would never believe how far our passports have gone. Another says, so PJP put the people under the bus. Aren't they the same people he was asking to protect the victory? Me Lee, me victory. Somebody really wants me to be cancelled because this person is sending me whatever clip that whatever his name is, this Maxwell person posted. I don't think playing this clip will be good for me because the people on here are scary when
the people.
I don't want to mess with
5 FM people are too much. Anson needs to go back to primary school.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with
if there is an
audience.
RC boys school in New York, wherever he is, he needs to go back to standard 1.
I really don't want to mess with my audience. These people don't mess around, but we do have the Prime Minister here. Let's see what he says about this thing. Somebody sent me a clip. I think I will. Somebody says PJP is not fit for the position PM. He only had an ego. Now we see the mood is red. Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but we're not allowed to say the mood is red anymore. People get angry.
Can say, I guess we can say it ringing, eh?
E-ring E.
No, I would tell them it's ringing E. I've never seen a more set of stupid people.
Guys, I don't know what's going on in St. Lucia. I really don't know what's going on because You see, the thing is, how did we get here? That's a question I want to ask. How did we get here? How did we find ourselves in this situation? Can somebody help me? Can somebody tell me?
Angie, we had it coming. We saw it coming. Those of us who have our eyes open, have our ears to the ground, we said it was going to happen, and we're not surprised that it happened. All the people who are playing their surprise now are people who support the government, you know. Every UWP person
we're not
knew
shocked.
that this would come to pass. The election was just December. You know, we're in March. The guys knew.
Okay, I thought this.
The guys knew this
Hold
was
on,
happening. That is why they call the election
One moment. I thought this
8 months early.
I thought this was a clip, but it's not. It's a Kenneth Rejock article. So I'm gonna have to read this first, vet it before I. Somebody sending me to ask Philip GP and Ernest Hille how we got here, but another says, Angie, my girl, earring is in Setlisi Fini Abaleba.
Angie, I said earlier that I am not a big fan of Ralph Gonsalves, but would you have his clip, Andy?
No, but I can find it. Because Ralph Gonsalves...
I think we need to play Ralph Gonsalves' clip.
Which one?
The one where he warned about the no CIP and how they will steal more. They believe they have more time, more vagabonds will come. That is exactly, all the vagabonds now are speaking. You see the vagabonds who have money now and who are restless. They want to run, there is nowhere to run because they have been exposed. Those are the vagabonds. We have vagabonds in St. Lucia. Some of the lawyers, Angie, some of the St. Lucian lawyers who are sitting quietly and who are working for CIP, getting all those.
Here we go.
You have it?
Do you doubt my expertise, Foster? I mean, after all we've been through.
If you can play Ralph Gonsalves and stop it after every time we take a deep breath, we stopping it and we discussing what he said.
Oh, hold on.
And I am fond of Ralph Gonsalves. I think he's just like Kenny Anthony, as lazy as Kenny Anthony. Or even more lazy than Kenny Anthony.
Is that even possible? I'm asking for a friend. I'm just asking. Is this even possible? Okay.
And we're going to ask Philip here some questions after the clip. When Ralph Gonsalves said that, he spoke as a prime minister. He said his colleagues.
I am getting a lot of posts, but I'm not getting clips of him actually speaking. Let me see. I'm not getting the video.
You're not getting the video?
No, but I am getting articles about it. Let me look for videos. Oh my God.
I said what Ralph Gonsalves said exactly, but I said it about 5 years before him. From the time CIP was launched by Kenny Anthony and Ernest Hille, I said what Ralph Gonsalves said there. Ralph Gonsalves was late. He was accurate, but he was late because his friends did it and he didn't want to say it too early.
I'm getting some feedback here.
Those guys knew exactly what they were doing. Kenny Anthony said he regretted he never was confident about CIP. He lied. Kenny Anthony knew.
Foster, but how is now you messaging me and telling me you there?
Oh no, that came in a long time, Angie. That was done a long time ago.
So I'm looking for it. I'm getting so many clips, but I'm not getting any. I need to go back.
You need to copy it from Minerva Show, man. You have to fast forward it because it's not. But I tell you, man, it's a shame. You know, we have lawyers, we have agents, we have lawyers for Galaxy here. We have all of them are tangled up together. In CIP, in Galaxy, they're agents, they're lawyers. Some lawyers we were told are going to come before disciplinary committee. Those lawyers are quiet, they're not saying anything. And a lawyer is an officer of the court. No wonder the court in St. Lucia nobody has confidence in our courts. Angie.
Somebody sent me a video. Listen, there's one thing I love about this show, this platform. People, they are on the ball. There it is. Let me see what this says. Oh, we're getting a call. So we're getting a call. Let's take this call. Good evening, caller. You are on the air.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
We're good. How are you?
Good.
Run your country's
Inspector Chico.
Could you hold a moment?
No.
Okay, there it is. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, ma'am. Good.
Inspector Chico.
Hello.
You heard the same Ralph Gonzague that traveled to St. Lucia to tell the St. Lucian people vote for the Labour Party. You heard how he threw all of them under the bus about the CIP program and how terrible he spoke about it. Can you imagine? I mean, when I listened to this tape, I was like, is this for real? I couldn't believe this was for real. The man said that they were going to sell as many passports as possible, as quick as possible, because in
fact, caller, he called it a race to the bottom. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yes, big time. And then he said, the lawyers and the accountants and all these people that are involved, it's like they were the signature crooks, that support him.
Yes.
He didn't use that exact words, but what he said was...
Yes.
What he said, when he said that they would sell as many as possible, as quick as possible, because money is the oxygen there. I was like, for real? Is that? No, I couldn't believe this. And today, you sold your partners in crime, okay? You sold them out. You threw them under the bus because you're not in power today. Is that what power does to people? I mean, I know power corrupts, but you're going to tell me the CIP program, you spoke so bad about it when you knew very well this was the signature move for the Labour Party. That was where they generated all the corruption, the corruption ring headed by Hilaire and company. And today, Ralph Gonzague spoke so bad about this. This is a wake-up call. But
actually, caller, let's just be... for the purposes of integrity and truth, Ralph Gonzague has never supported the CIP. As far back as
No, he never did.
2006, Rav Gonzalez is known to have said that this is his sovereignty. When Kenny Anthony first introduced the CIP, Ralph Gonzalez stood up at some heads of government meeting. I can't remember if it was CARICOM or OECS, right? He said, and I quote, "My sovereignty is not for sale." And he has been adamant about that from day one. So in the interest of fairness, we have to concede that this gentleman has never supported the CIP. He told them that it can work, they can fix it, but he knows they won't because the money is too sweet.
The money too sweet.
Number one. And number two, when they started selling those passports for less than what was initiated or recommended, then they watered down the program. And again, it boils down to what greed is all about, because I remember when this whole CIP thing went out of control, the Labour Party, they were like in no hurry to stop it. And you remember when Philip J. Pierre did not sign that memorandum or whatever they were supposed to sign, and then he turned around and said that because of the orders that were in, come on.
Yes.
But again,
he said, let us make some money. Everybody have made their money. Let us make some money.
Exactly.
Because we have commitment to Galaxy. Galaxy are crooks.
Yeah, Galaxy controls your sovereignty.
Galaxy
controls
a bunch of crooks.
The caller is laughing, but I feel very hurt by this.
Oh yeah.
I feel very hurt by this caller.
I'm not hurt. I'm not hurt. You know why I'm not hurt?
These individuals were warned
seeing
so many times.
Seeing is believing for these people. And Inspector Chico, you spent probably more than half of your life on the force, and you know what the law is better than me. What I want to say is that, is there not an immigration department? Is there not a head of immigration department to say, we are not printing another passport? I mean, where's the checks and balances?
The police is saying nothing about all that corruption that's going on with our passports. And I called him to Mr. Gad today. I called him on another program. That they have been silent on that, and sooner or later they're going to blame him as the commissioner for all that passport racket.
First of all, God, for whatever God stands for, I don't know. I don't want to be, brash in any way. But where these people supposed to represent the law, they become very passive. First and foremost, I know there must be a head of this immigration department.
Yep.
Okay?
The commissioner is the chief immigration officer.
The commissioner. Okay.
Well, first and foremost, if this is the commissioner's job, the commissioner must learn how to differentiate between his duties and his political loyalty. Because they are all supporters of the Labour Party, and you have to be able to draw the line and say, look, we have to represent the people and not the government, because the government is not representing the people. The government is representing themselves. They are fooling their pockets. And I read something, and I don't know if this is true. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now that SLASPA must take a loan to develop the ports, what happened to GPH? So GPH is over there enriching themselves.
I don't know how that can happen.
Our taxpayers' money. And now SLASPA, but again, SLASPA is another accomplice in this crime, because SLASPA and their members, some of them, they sold their soul for that $250 stipend when all this negotiation was happening secretly. They said nothing. And then Philip J. Pierre and the rest of his goons turn around and say, look, that they offered SLASPA an opportunity. SLASPA has been running the ports from time immemorial. All of a sudden, they're not able to do it. But Inspector Chico, do you realize that when the part of the port that Chasney developed where more ships could berth at the harbor, you realize Philip J. Pierre is so hateful he turned around and he sold it. He sold the ports just for that development not to sink in for the benefit of the country. The same way they have the hospital over there rotting. Okay, this gigantic building is just sitting down there, and they have all the chicken coops over there, and up to now they can't open the so-called hospital. I guess now it meets the what they said, some kind of policy, something that they have to meet. I don't understand.
Commission.
No. She's talking
commission
about
hospital.
because it's not just okay. So the hospital has to be commissioned, and it has to be accredited. Because you can't just open
But what
a
does that
hospital.
mean?
Accreditation.
What does that mean?
It means that it has to meet international standards for a hospital.
But it should have met international standards before it began. Why is it not meeting international standards and it's only after? This is nonsense. It's like you built a building and then you did not have your electrical done correctly, and then now you want to. This is just nonsense. All that is wasting time because you don't build a house and then go to planning and ask planning to see if it's done right. You're supposed to monitor these things as you go along. This is nonsense.
Well,
Call
it did not
That
pass.
is the government that likes things by the back. You see the back door on those
Exactly,
roads?
under the
Every
table,
time you
yeah,
see
buy
the
a
truck
bathtub
coming
like
to
your
power,
Sally Papi
you
show.
start hearing about back door. Because they are backdoor people. They are SLP people. They like things from the back.
Yeah.
Foster,
That is a sad situation.
I don't
It's a
think you
really
can
sad
see that.
situation
I
when
don't. Foster,
Philippe
I don't think you can make.
Philippe Pierre
Please rephrase that statement.
Philippe Pierre said,
Caller, give me a minute.
told the
Foster,
Constitution,
hold on. Foster,
stop
hold on.
going through the back door in
Foster,
England.
hold on.
I'm just repeating what Philippe Pierre said.
Could you rephrase that statement
Okay,
and clean it up for the radio,
Okay.
please? Anyway, go ahead, caller. Foster needs to think about what he's saying. What were you saying, caller?
I simply said the Labour Party loves coupe haché, things on the, how you say it, bootleg. They love bootleg things because if they were to do it right, the money that they're going to spend, they would find a way to cut whatever they want to cut. That way, their friends, job for the boys, and all this kind of nonsense. But at the end of the day, the country suffers, and now that the St. Lucian people, they have to go get a visa to go to everywhere. I mean, Europe, they have to go to England, everywhere to get a visa. And now their so-called government is saying that it's because St. Lucians are overstaying on their visas. First and foremost, a lot of the people that are seeking political asylum in the UK, they've never been to St. Lucia. They bought their passport and trying to enter England through the back door. And what their government is telling them is that, oh, you guys went up there and you all overstayed. That is not true, okay? Home Office didn't put these things together because St. Lucian people were seeking political asylum. The people they sold the passports to, 90% of this situation was meant for them. So when they're over there lying to the St. Lucian people, as if the St. Lucian people do not have a brain of themselves, of their own to think for themselves, this is nothing but lies and more lies. And the millions of dollars Philip J. intend to go and borrow, or whatever money he said that he borrowed from the African Union. Now tell me, why are we messing with the African Union? Is it because Tinubu is the one leading Philip J. Why are we messing with the African Union? And then he went to CARICOM.
Go ahead.
And you don't want to get me started on CARICOM because CARICOM once upon a time was a great organization. But in my opinion, CARICOM has become nothing but a Labour Party infused kind of organization that want to spread the Labour Party ideology in the whole Caribbean to make it a one Caribbean order, because that is what the Labour Party wants to do in the entire Caribbean. So right now, credibility for me from this so-called CARICOM, it means nothing, because what they've done, they have allowed too many crooked prime ministers to be part and parcel of this CARICOM, especially those that are
Amen,
involved in
Paula.
the CIP.
Amen.
Because what they did, they have put the entire Caribbean on blast. That's what they've done. The entire Caribbean is on blast because of the chief crooks that are heading these organizations. You know what? I need to somebody else an opportunity to make a contribution. So you guys just be careful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm listening to you guys.
Thank you, Kola.
Thank you very much.
Amen. Amen.
Let me tell you, the contributors on this platform, these individuals are on point. So we have the thing from
the comrade himself.
Oh, let me.
And that it is reckless to run your country's finances on selling passport and citizenship. No. You see the Americans under President Trump saying that has to come to an end. Canada is the same thing. Britain, they start to say they're taking away. You have to apply for visa now from certain of those countries. And the Europeans now put it inside of their parliament. Parliamentary committee in the European Union, Parliament has already addressed that question. Is going to do, and that it is.
Okay, so you heard him. It's a reckless practice. We have some messages here. Wow, people are sending me clips from all over the place. So somebody says on the Facebook platform, Angie, I share the same sentiment as you. I saw a woman, probably an agent. She had about 21 passports, all for one family, and in another video about 30 passports. These were all St. Lucian passports for Nigerians. Another says, well, the mood is too red now. It's too red for PJP. Another says, Philip Pierre and administration said Alan Shastney's father brought his diplomas for him, but today Philip Pierre is speaking like a kindergarten child as the Prime Minister. Somebody says, how did we get here? Lani Twop Vole SLP. Somebody said PJP was a teacher. Golden Dragon said that PJP was his favorite teacher. Somebody says, Foster, let's go to...
Oh, he thought gold. No wonder it's Golden Dragon. He thought.
Foster, let's go to Bayer to plant our green banana. That's what the Prime Minister said. Foster and Angie, I hope you'll have a good vision for St. Lucia because we need a change. I think this person is under the impression that you and I are going to run for office. I don't think we will. Somebody says here, Angie, we got to this because all the smart monkeys ate the ripe banana skins to get vitamin D while under the bright sunlight, and they throw away the banana itself. My God. I don't even... Somebody says Canada got visa under Kenny SLP and now UK under PJP. Lucians, open your eyes. SLP is not for progress and development. They're only good for handouts. Somebody's asking, what about Angie's case with Hele? So I've been answering this question all day. People have been asking me. Guys, the case is proceeding as it should. We had a court case, a hearing last week Friday, and in that hearing certain motions were laid, and we have a date for early April, but the case is going on as it should, and I'm not going to be speaking about any specifics regarding this case on the air while it is being ventilated before the court. But as soon as that process is done, believe you me, guys, I am not going to hide to tell you exactly what is happening. Somebody says, but Foster, what making me so mad with our lawyers in St. Lucia? Not one of them will stand up and say anything about what's going on in St. Lucia. It is a shame. Somebody says he said that before the election, I guess referring to Ralph Gonzague. Another says Ralph was in power when he made that statement about the CIP. He was not in opposition. He was the Prime Minister. Somebody says, then he is compromised also. Another says, Alva needs to raise his voice. Alva, please step forward to the front of the line and provide full transparency and full accountability. I was about to ask that question. Listen,
Alva is still on MP?
I don't know. Is he even in St.
The
Lucia?
man has been, you'll realize Alva Baptiste has been the foreign minister since he came into political office.
Mm-hmm.
And this man from Juvali, the racket with Juvali and diplomatic passport, this man has never uttered a word. And the main player, the main upsetter in all of that scenario going on there has been Onesile.
Well, I think he's the right man for the job, because now we know he's a foreigner to his own ministry. So he embodies the job very well. External affairs, he's never here, so I mean.
And the guy speaks in Labri like he's the owner of Labri. What's his name in Labri?
I have no idea.
You don't know they call him
T-Bon Labo, yeah. Isn't that what they call him?
No, not he, they call Socrates.
I don't know. Somebody says, Mr. Foster, who is the owner of the briefcase? Is this owner a co-joint with immigration? It is only a question we're asking. Not that I know of.
I don't know
I know the owner, but I don't know any.
I don't know if there's any link.
I don't know any link with immigration. Somebody says duct tape and crazy glue administration. Everything is temporary. Another says they like things from the back. Are they batty boys? LOL. Foster, like I said, you cannot.
Hile said St. Lucia.
You
is
cannot make these.
Every time Hile speaks about backdoor, Hile and Pierre. Not me saying it. Even the British catch the same fever from them repeating backdoor. I don't know where they get that word from.
Foster, let's leave that alone.
Okay.
With all the CIP monies, has he given the boys on the block the Netflix he spoke about when UWP was in government? Foster, question for you. It's your show after all.
It's coming through the door.
Coming soon. Which door? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Somebody says, caller, CARICOM is now considered to be the Labour Party Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody says, my lady, I will ask you to take that back. St. Lucian people do not have a brain. Oh, my goodness. I take offense to this. My lady, I will ask you to take that back. St. Lucian people does not have a brain for themselves, because if they did, PJP would have never been Prime Minister of St. Lucia. Why are these people like that? Foster, where are you getting them? I don't... Somebody says, caller, they built the building in the same way as the way Superman dresses. They put on their pants before their underwear. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Somebody says too many crooks watching the money. Another says CIB has become the downfall of this nation in the hands of the SLP. Alva is as quiet as a church mouse. All the crooks are on mute. Another says Alva busy building his mansion. People do not disturb the man. The mood is red. Over to the WhatsApp platform. You guys are... I am afraid of you. Somebody is saying here, Foster, Alva don't like Hile because they chose Hile over him as deputy minister. That's why he is so quiet. Let me tell you, if you think these people are easy, Foster, you don't come on to Fire FM and say things that you cannot back up. Now, I don't know what's going on with you and this backdoor business. But the Home Secretary of the UK said that our visa-free access is providing a backdoor into their country, and they are not very happy with this. So I'm a bit confused and people are referring to the Prime Minister's comments. Tonight I'm going to take a listen and I'm going to just dissect it and understand what he's saying. So guys, I am saying it beforehand. When I come in tomorrow, I will be playing a few clips of the Prime Minister. Please be nice. I don't want to have to...
Get your salt early, people.
Because I have to tell them in advance, Foster. The people get so mad at me. There are certain individuals who just don't want to listen to the Prime Minister. But he is the Prime... I know. You're one of those that put pressure on me. But he is the Prime Minister, guys, and we have to listen to what he says. How else are we going to understand what is happening in our country? Give the man a chance to speak. So tomorrow, I'm telling you guys in advance so you can prepare yourselves. Take a deep breath because we need to listen and learn from Philip J. Pierre.
Tell the people, Angie, get the Epsom salt, whale oil.
Whale oil.
Yeah, whale oil.
Are we making a fiction? Do we need red lavender and all of these things? Angie?
No, it's for internal medicine.
Somebody is saying, Angie, take it. LOL, I will stay in Canada for my health care. Somebody said, now RF is heading to Canada to represent the government at an independence event, shaking my head. Lord Jesus. I'm starting to believe two people, our people here on Fire FM cannot stand, Foster, is RF. Well, three people, RF, RF and the Prime Minister. Somebody saying, how do you be nice to the PM when his statements are all word salad mixture? I don't know. But I can only ask you guys to try. You see, I know, wow. Somebody says, I will listen to PJP only on Fire FM and Newsspin. Wow. So that means you're only taking him in small doses there. That is telling. How could you be the Prime Minister of a country and nobody wants to hear you speak? Nobody is interested in what you have to say. This is quite telling, guys. And how did he get elected in the first place? He says, Foster, PJP said that he got more votes
in the last
this
election
time than any other time. How?
But he said he was going to get... He could have taken all. That's the second time he's saying that.
Somebody says... go ahead.
He almost did it. So Philippe knows something that we don't know, Angie.
I am disinclined to ask him what he knows because I need my brain cells, and whenever Philip J. Pierre answers a question, I am of the opinion that his aim is not to provide information, but to frustrate the person asking the question so much that they refuse to ask him any more questions. Somebody's asking you, whale oil? And somebody says, give them the pet names. Somebody else says, Foster, as a former inspector, has the RSLPF disclosed the names of the individuals that they would be freezing their assets, financial assets?
Well, under the Drug Act, the police can make forfeiture of assets if they put an application before the court. Well, that has been happening, that has been a normal practice.
Yeah, but
if they catch you
recently,
with drugs on your vehicle, the police have had that confiscated cars and boats and so on.
No, recently recently, Verngard, the commissioner, he said that the police have identified some individuals who they believe have gained assets with the proceeds of drug and other criminal activity, and that they are going to seize those assets.
Yeah, that comes with investigations.
Yeah, and I think,
Angie, that cannot just happen just because the police
well, they said they
see
are
you have.
investigating and they have identified certain individuals. So I don't. Do you think it's common? Is it common practice to release the names of these individuals?
No. Under the Proceeds of Crime, there's a Proceeds of Crime Act, I believe. It authorizes the police can make application to the court, but it must be following a case where the police can show that link between the person's assets and I know it happens. It have happened before in cases where you have drugs have been intercepted through vessels or vehicles. The police have had a number of vehicles that were actually seized vehicles from individuals.
Somebody's inviting you to Bands, Foster. I think maybe they saw that photo you showed me earlier. The person says, Foster, I'm from Bands, so let us head to the countryside to plant our green banana, and we can use the spring water since Wasco is a problem to water our plants. You think your wife might allow you to do that?
Yeah, no problem. We can go. Bunce is my base, My father's base,
Oh, okay. So that's what you'll be telling the wife. You go and visit your family down there.
Yeah, my base down there.
Feel your.
I showed you my photo, Angie. Don't think I
see it.
You saw that photo. Right?
I see it. Somebody's asking, is there no CIP Act?
CIP Act.
CIP Act. I think so. Foster, the people can see the photo, on the live show.
Oh, they can see the photo?
Yeah, show it. Put it in front of the camera. Let everybody see. Now, guys, you'll have to guess which one is Foster, because I have to guess.
That's my old passport with the 2 visas, the one they cancelled. I want to sell this one for Richard Frederick, because he will never have one. And this is the photo that I showed Angie. Angie couldn't identify me in the photo, in the lineup.
By the way,
that was the days I was walking on wire. Right?
Yes, I don't know what kind of wire, but apparently he did it well. Y'all see the now you'll have to figure out which one is Foster. I'll give you all a hint. Mustache. Anyway, somebody says, Angie, please take this speech, chop it up in small pieces, season it well, and then share it warm after it is well cooked. Okay. Y'all want me to... The people on here ask me so many things. Bunce is Foster Roots, so his wife is welcome, Miss Angie. Okay. So, Foster, you and your wife heading down to Bunce?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, guys, listen. It's amazing what this government is getting away with. Could you imagine, Foster? Could you just imagine? Somebody says SLP is doing voodoo. But...
I said in Philippia, I don't know what magic he's doing, if it's red, if it's white, if it's black magic, but he's doing some kind of magic.
I think rainbow colors, because how? I mean, people in St. Lucia are seriously, I think, that's my opinion. I may be wrong, but I doubt that I am. But I honestly believe that people in St. Lucia are thinking that when they vote SLP against their own interests, that they are hurting somehow Alan Shastney.
I believe so too.
How do you hurt the man who has everything? I mean, pretty sure Alan Shastney has his visas. Pretty sure if he applies for a British visa, he will get it. He probably has a Canadian visa as well. He can travel the world.
Angie,
I wonder if he has a plane. I must ask him.
Not too long ago, a certain talk show was asking him, but why are the Flabeaus so quiet? And probably they're waiting for the visa thing to explode so that they can say, come out and boastfully and say, we told you also and you all were not listening.
We did tell you also. You all didn't listen. And right now,
now that it have actually blown up, they don't expect Flamur to speak. But we told you it is going to blow up. Ralph Gonsalves told you, Minerva told you.
But don't forget, Minerva is an enemy of the state. I'm probably labeled as an enemy of the state as well.
Yeah.
Not that I care, though. It is what it is. I will continue to speak the truth because that's the only thing I know how to do. And if you don't agree...
You know who are the enemies of the state? The people who are supporting SLP, who are involved in criminal activity, who are on bail for criminal offenses, and they are walking in town supporting with their red shirts on, absconding and their bail, the police looking for them, and they are wearing red t-shirts in the city. Those are the people that are enemies of the state. I don't know Angie to have any criminal record.
I don't.
I don't know you have committed any act that the police is looking for you and they cannot find you. There are people in Castries every day who are committing crimes and who are involved in robbery or involved in some kind of offense, Angie. And they are known by certain surrogates of the SLP. They are not calling them enemies of the state. So who's the enemy of the state? Me. I'm an enemy of the state. A state that I protected. I spent most of my life, my adult life, in fact all of my adult life, fighting for that state. I'm an enemy of the state.
Well,
I arrested persons who are lying to SLP already. So they're not enemies of the state. I am the enemy of the state.
Well, you see, Foster, you like to tell the truth too much. So that makes you an enemy of the state because you're not hiding for the Prime Minister. Somebody's saying over here, Angie, more often than not, it is the FIA that will investigate and make application before the court before assets can be confiscated. And before this happens, the individual must be prosecuted for an offense stipulated in the Proceeds of Crime Act.
Right. Now, that person mentioned the FIA. Sometimes I have to ask myself, that's why I tell you, you see the institutions of this country, Angie, and our courts, I have a problem because we don't share information, we're not seeing, we just like big names, we just like departments, we just like... There's a government minister who said that the bank refused his money.
And as far as
it was
I
not
know,
me who said it.
And as far as I know,
it,
and the bank closed his account, he said.
The bank closed his account, told him, come and get his money out, he and his friend.
And as far
Have
as
you
I
heard
know,
anything from FIA?
banks don't refuse money. That's like the air they breathe.
So who's to investigate me?
Well,
Not FIA?
You are Inspector Chico, are you not?
I ain't Inspector. Home Affairs are Mogil. So who is to investigate that minister?
Are you the minister in the Ministry of Home Affairs?
You ever heard the Prime Minister say once the money clears the bank, but they are receiving money, campaign money, from people who are not banking money, who have no bank account, because they cannot put their money in the bank.
Wow.
Have you ever heard them ask for an FIA report on those people?
Somebody says this Mongoose gang never won. Remember his statement regarding the Grosselet seat before the election? This statement says a lot. Another person saying, but Foster, during the election campaign, RF was in the States campaigning for the SLP, so he has a U.S. visa. Another
No,
says,
he doesn't have a U.S. visa.
Alan Chasney is a Canadian citizen, Angie. Another says, Foster and Angie, please answer me this question. We have our Minister of Housing. I'm from the South. I haven't seen not one project in the South. Why everything happening in the North? I wonder why.
After the man build his condos, he will build some plywood 4x4. He'll bring you some 4x4 condos in what part of Vieux-Fort that person is from? Writer, say what part of Vieux-Fort you need the condos, the plywood condos.
Somebody saying PJP has to be doing something. There's no way he can be so confident that he can say, I'm taking all 17 seats if they trouble him. This is scary.
That basin water. I'll get that basin in and make some holes in it.
Somebody says, Angie, do you know there is red champagne and white champagne, but is there a yellow champagne? Question. The questions I get on here. Classic. Somebody says, Inspector and Angie, how many of the people who voted for the Labour Party don't have a passport, never traveled, so they don't give a damn about visa-free travel, and the rest voted for Labour? The so-called ministers can travel with no issues. That is true. And the Prime Minister says it.
Yeah, the Prime Minister said he will only, as long as he remain Prime Minister in government, he will have a visa, he hopes. Or on his ministers, members of his cabinet,
they
may have
diplomatic passport. Somebody says the Labours wouldn't speak if something like that happened in UWP government time. His monies wasn't washed and made clean.
Angie, can you imagine if UWP had won the election and the British had imposed that visa issue on us?
Now, I had this
Today would have been some chaos, some noise in town. And tomorrow, that house meeting, if we were going to the house tomorrow, we would have had a big protest by SLP.
Foster, let me tell you something. And this is my honest opinion. If Alan Shastney was in power, we would not be here.
That would not happen to
it would not
UWP.
Happen. It would not happen. Listen,
I agree with you,
if
Angie.
The statement saying, wow, somebody says, I'm offering is full corpora condos they will bless South people with.
I don't think Vieux-Fort people deserve condos, you know. Vieux-Fort people are not voting for anything.
Do they even vote?
Kenny Anthony left after 25 to 40 years. He never built not one house in Vieux-Fort.
Well,
Vieux-Fort people, I'll say something that not many people will see. You see, if I was the next leader of UWP, there are some seats that I will not contest.
And Vieux-Fort is one of them?
Right. The two Vieux-Fort seats.
And Marshall.
And Labrie, I'm not contesting those seats.
Why?
I am going on what I can win. I'm winning. I'm showing the Vieux-Fort and Labrie people. I've contested 14 seats and I'm winning all 14. And I'm not sending a candidate for those 3 seats.
Wow.
That will send a Vieux-Fort people a message that they will remain as they are for the rest of their lives because they don't want anything better for themselves. Angie, we have seen it. I cannot believe Kenny Anthony admitted that he did nothing for Vieux-Fort.
He did.
And they voted an SLP candidate again?
Not just Kenny Anthony.
Musa too?
No. Listen, here's the most telling thing. Did you listen to the list of projects that Danny Butcher promised the people he would initiate?
Who's Danny Butcher?
The guy who won the seat.
I know you. If he walks into the room there now, I wouldn't know him.
The list was so long that some people started falling asleep on their feet.
Things that Kenny Anthony promised to do since he came on his white horse.
Things Kenny promised while he was still advising Burnham in Guyana. And none have been done.
And the Vieux-Fort people voted for this guy?
Yeah, they did.
So you expect things to change in Vieux-Fort? You want condos? I'll give you some plywood 4x4s. The same green ones. This time we're not putting them in green, huh? Putting them in red. Near the airport in Vieux-Fort, near the Kakabef.
The people said the mood is red, and then they don't want people to repeat it. They want us to forget. We cannot forget. We cannot forget. And we should not forget. Because at the end of the day, how dumb are we? What has SLP, listen, Philip J. Pierre was not even trying to campaign, you know. The man, in 2021, when he won the election, I said to myself, I wonder what Philip J. Pierre will have the heart to stand up on a platform and say to St. Lucians again. I cannot wait for the next election. That's what I told myself. I was not in the media yet, you know. I was not anywhere near that profession. Wow, somebody says they will build condos for the cows in Vieux-Fort before they build for the homeless or the needy. That's what they voted for in Vieux-Fort. Oh yes, by the way, Vieux-Fort, you all got cows, so you're all good. You're all good. They provided for you all. And then I heard Philip J. Pierre just come on various platforms and talk a whole bunch of foolishness. Turkey backs. Really? You all voted for turkey backs? Somebody called the show last
Yes,
week.
SLP didn't campaign, huh?
No.
This election.
They just spoke a whole bunch of foolishness. Somebody called the show last week and said, wow, because of STEP, I've lost my visa-free access to England. And I think that was the most truthful statement that any St. Lucian has ever said. Guys, we voted, well, you all voted for STEP. I didn't vote for STEP. I voted for health insurance. But we lose our visas because of STEPy people. STEP, turkey backs, rainwater harvesting, eat what we see and see what we eat. Is that what he said? Or watch what you eat and eat what you watch?
Yeah, potato.
Sweet
seeds.
potato seeds.
I more think SLP is famous for corn seeds. I heard the Philippines can grow corn in the sea.
You heard that?
You see where the surf.
I suspect you're lying to me, you know, Foster.
Those guys have good on corn seeds.
I suspect you fool. Well, some of my friends were kicking off. And they said the minister will
of seeds.
No, the minister will buy seeds and see Megwen all over the country. I think that's what happened. Now they didn't tell me what seeds,
Corn seeds.
They will see Megwen
That's what SLP is famous
all
for.
over
corn.
the country. Somebody says, they said, in response to the thing that PJP must be doing something, they say yes he can because all the election tools came from Maduro. Another person say vouchers who are expiring on Wednesday. People know when the vouchers are
Yeah,
expiring.
the 11th. Yeah, the food vouchers. So go get your food before Marcy turn down your Marcy vouchers expire. 11th of March. Angie. There are still hundreds of food vouchers out, you know. Persons
Somebody
are carrying
said,
the vouchers in their
let
purse.
Labrie,
SLP
Bunce,
people.
and Vieux-Fort people suffer. They are suckers. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but these people are not going to suffer, okay? Y'all should take a drive by the Cocoa Dan. They have provided them with meat. Somebody says PJP constituents don't have access to toilet facilities. How are they eating what they grow and grow what they eat? I don't think they need the toilet to grow the food. I don't know how these two correlate. I guess for manure, I don't know, guys. I don't know. You're asking me, listen, guys, these questions that at least warn me before you ask me these kinds of questions so I can do some research.
Angie, you have to remind the people. The lawyers and the accountants they will sell more, faster, they will steal more, because they know things are coming to a halt. The politicians will steal more.
And they will not fix the problems because, quote unquote, the money is too sweet.
So we are with 2024, 2025, the number of files.
So
I don't like the word files,
you have to say files.
because we ain't selling files. We selling passport. You see that?
The passports are in the files. And each file contains at least 4 passports. At least, guys. So that means it can contain more.
Yeah, well, you see the confusion is that, Angie,
People are
some
mistaking
families
files
might have
with
3
passports.
persons, some might have 5. So I don't want you to tell me, if you sell a passport for me and I have 5 children and a wife, that's 7. I alone get 7 files.
No.
Now it might be
No,
4.
No, you have it wrong.
That's not how it is?
No, you get 1 file with 7 passports.
1 file.
With 7 passports.
So 5,600 files.
Can mean as many
it can
as
be
a million passports.
It can be 1 million.
Because here's the thing. Each file can contain at least 4 passports.
4 passports.
At least.
So if I have a family of 10,
That
they will
one
sell me
file
1 file, but
with
it has
10
10
passports in it, yes.
So why are we there hesitating, and why are we allowing a bunch of people at a CIP board, ordinary people who knows nothing about passports, to be selling our passports to criminals?
Well, they're supposed to be conducting due diligence.
Due diligence?
They're supposed to be vetting these individuals. They're supposed to be investigating these individuals. They're supposed to be doing all of that.
Don't forget what Galaxy told the Healy and them when they tried to reverse the contract. Tell them, no.
They said they are under no obligation to provide us with any extra money.
We're giving you all no money.
And they said, by the
We
way,
decided we give you all $10 a passport. That's what you'll sell.
And they say, by the way, you all owe us more passports, so bring it come.
Bring it. Since then, you have never heard a report on Galaxy. And Galaxy is down there mashing up our mangroves, and he is talking about...
We have a call on the line.
Just thought I'd let you all know. I
Yes.
think that 666 is not 600 million, it's $666 million. $666 million. I think that's for paying the civil servants. The treasury is broke, you're full.
Ha.
So
You
that's
mean
the
the
figure 666?
Yes, 666 million. You're saying 600 million. $666 million they're borrowing tomorrow.
Boy, that is voodoo
Let's say
for
that-
Truman.
Huh?
That's voodoo for Truman.
I think it's 666.5 or something so. But not 6 million, no, not 600 million, 666. Okay, the 6 is in there. And
Okay.
I think that's a plane, I think 0.52. I think it's 666.5 million, I think that's what it is. But I think that's for paying civil servants because they broke the fund.
Yeah,
They
but,
don't find out what to do with this CIP money.
yeah, but caller, let me ask you a question. You might be a better at mathematics than me. The budget,
That's true, I'm a waffle, that's true.
that's true. Let me tell
I'm a
you,
waffle.
the financial year ends March 41st, which is 22 days from today. You have had a budget for running for 2026, and you now going 22 days, 3 weeks before the year ends. Your budget cycle ends. You go and borrow $666 million. That means there was a shortfall.
What does that tell you?
But
They fund.
They fund.
but hold on,
They don't have money. The money that they were supposed to have for the budget,
Guys.
they didn't have it.
guys. Hold on.
And hey, hold on. And the great Donald Trump say there's a country in the Caribbean named St. Lucia, and the government is very bad. They're bad boys, and I'm coming for them. And they have the money in Dubai, and other places, and I'm going to take their money. I'm going to seize their money. Okay? Donald Trump said that.
Guys,
Right.
hold on. This does not make sense. The Prime Minister said,
No, but no, what he said, he lies a lot.
I know he lies, but he said that he's expecting some surpluses. So how can you all say that now?
Listen to me, man.
And you borrow
Listen
it?
to me. That man lies all the time over his mouth. That man lies all the time. You Prime Minister said what? That man don't know nothing about the truth. That man lies everything over his mouth. He went to Trinidad and talking about, I got to take care of my constituency. You know, you don't want to know when, where, what time. I don't know where this man's a disgrace. It's an embarrassment. It's a disaster. It's disgusting. The man can come, Chico. The man can come and tell him what he got to do this for his constituency.
Yeah.
Everybody talk about country, he talk about constituency.
Yeah.
You know, what is that?
You telling
This
people
man
in
just said
Marshall just plant what they grow. Where they planting it? In the field?
Somebody was just saying. Somebody was just saying people in Marshall don't even have access to land for toilet facilities. How are they going to get land?
CDCs to plant too.
Yes, he said them to plant in your backyard, even if you live in the CDC, which is quite confusing to me because the CDCs don't have backyards. I'm confused.
You don't understand what you don't understand you're an idiot for Prime Minister. You don't understand that? We'll never learn. And the man treat you all just like, oh, man say, you know what, they're stupid, let me treat them stupid. I'm an idiot.
Caller, you know what I will do? To understand Philippe, when I leave the studio, I'm going to the swimming pool in the gardens and I'm bathing in the swimming pool in the gardens.
And you think that will help?
The fun. As you said, right, Chico? As you said, the budget next 20 days or so, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't wait because the fund can't pay civil servants.
My God.
You can't go to the US, you can't go to the IMF, you can't go to the World Bank, you can't go to the CDB, you can't go to TDMU. But Trump will deal with them. Trump coming down for Cuba. And when he comes for Cuba, he killing two birds with one, he killing about 5 or 6 birds with one stone. Because St. Louis is a current. Trump is playing.
I hope Trump know where he's sending his missiles. I live at Rockall.
That communist thing, Trump will get out. So listen, let's fight. Right now, those guys can't sleep, you know. Trump coming out soon.
Well, the Prime Minister did say the Prime Minister did say he wants to sleep in his own bed, so he cannot make his own friends.
Yeah, you can tell all the nonsense, tell all the nonsense. Tell that to Trump. Trump coming down the road. You see Jamaica? Jamaica said Cuba. No, I'll take you later, gone, out of here. Jamaica said Cuba out of here. The big bad Russia. I just said no boy, trouble with that man. China, China said no boy, nothing to do with that man. You don't think Trump playing? Trump got the artillery difference ain't got. Trump got artillery difference ain't got. They can't mess with America. They cannot.
Caller, give me a heads up when Trump come in. Let me dig a nice little bunker.
No, Trump, listen, let me tell you something. For the Caribbean, Trump don't give them use no arms there. Unless they want to lie, if they lie, continue to lie, he may just use a little. One of those bombs cost $1 million.
A little magic bomb.
One of those bombs you had that cost $1 million. One of those bombs cost $1 million. Okay? You think the man can make $1 million on the Mongoose gang? Who spends $1 million on 16 Mongoose? Who does that? Who does that, huh? does that. So, as I was saying, that's $666.5 million. That's to pay the civil servants because they're foreign. They can't touch that money. Martinez, they laughed on Martinez. Martinez is this, and Richard is that, and there's that, and there's that. So on the last laugh. Let me tell you something, Chico. The FBI and them told Martinez, do not go to the Caribbean until we see. And this man hasn't been in the Caribbean for 2 years. Martinez, that case is out of Martinez's hand. It is out of Martinez's hand, okay? The Department of the DOJ, the U.S. Department of Justice, FBI and those guys, and they got a message for Pierre and Dory. They got a message for them. They know all what they're doing.
I believe so. I believe so.
And Muduru in a orange suit, in a New York prison, New York jail. Muduru not gonna stay in a jail. I hear those guys on that, those black boys on that Jewish champion on his head. Muduru gonna vomit. He's gonna vomit, and he started vomiting already. No. You will know, Chico. When you got St. Lucia placed in the same bracket as Nicaragua.
My God.
No, that's listen, that's bad. And you know who's from Nicaragua, right?
Yes.
Daniel Ortega.
Yeah.
I never done to him years ago.
Isn't that person a criminal?
Chico, which way that is, Chico, please? Yes, he is.
You know, when I last heard about Nicaragua was the Iran arms conflict. That was during time of Reagan, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys were trading guns and mongoose.
Right.
They had the mongoose
That's
gun
right.
trading guns and thing with Nicaragua and Russia. And
So when that guy when Pierre get down there talking about the Soviet, it's not easy. St. Lucia is classed in the same bracket as Nicaragua. You tell me about that? Nicaragua was a big drug terrorist murder country led by Daniel Ortega, the leader. And when you know who he is? I know you're dead by now.
It must be dead a long time already, man.
I'm probably dead by now. No, they got Maduro. You got Maduro. And let me tell you something, Maduro gonna be vomiting. Maduro gonna be vomited.
Oh yeah.
So let me tell you, the mongoose gang down there, they're shaking their pants. Some of them, they're shaking their pants. Don't go to talk, they don't go there. Don't know what I talk. Because Maduro going down so. Maduro going down and let these black boys drink champagne and in a prison doing 100 years or 250 years. Nah, that ain't happening. They made a screen. They made us get a deal.
Maduro have to cut a deal. Oh yes. Maduro have about 5 life sentences there, and he'll be lucky if he escape free, you know. So if he ain't coming back, you'll never see Maduro in Venezuela. Never, never.
Let's cut this deal. You know, so, are you? Those guys end up working for the U.S.
Oh yeah.
Those guys end up working for the U.S. Okay? And say, okay, we'll give you 10 years. You tell us everything, and instead of giving you 250 years in prison, we'll give you about 10 years, or 5 years, or 8 years, and you're good to go. But Maduro gonna scream. Maduro gonna vomit. Maduro gonna start not jail for them black boys, or the Jewish champagne for Pierre and Frederick and the fellas. You really think so? Come on,
we know he's going to speak. Maduro has no choice but to cooperate.
I think he started vomiting already.
Oh yeah.
I think he started vomiting already because for any of the classes in the bracket of the Nicaragua, I think he started vomiting already.
Let me tell you, the number of Burums they must be working night shift for beating Maduro. Maduro have to talk, you know.
The thing the boys brigade are dealing with? Really? They fellas coming down the line. They went with Russia, because Russia ain't got no army. Russia went to not Kuwait, what they call it,
Ukraine.
Ukraine. I thought it'd be a 2-week job.
Yeah.
4.5 years later, 4.5 years later, they can't get rid of you can't get rid of Ukraine. Are you going to Russia up against America?
Yeah.
Putin said it will take him 10 to 20 years to get his army and navy back up to par. Who's going to want nothing with
Russia has no army. Ukraine has defeated half of Russia military.
You know what I mean?
And they put them around like a ball, eh?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Everybody thought Ukraine would crumble, but this leader that Ukraine has, this guy is no joke.
Not only the leader, the people.
Yeah.
The people, man, woman, child, everybody standing around him.
Yeah.
Everybody standing around him, man. Everybody is on the man's side. Everybody standing around their leader. Everybody, I mean Tooth Moon. Tooth Moon, the babies, everybody on that man's side. It's all, okay? So, those guys, the Mongols gang, they enjoy their life, man. Because Trump coming down the road.
Thank you for that caller.
When Trump says something, he's doing it, you know.
Yep.
Trump is telling you it, and he just do it. Okay, he's telling you what he can do, and he do it. You come over those guys, man.
You're
Those
right.
guys are lying to look at you. All their life and stuff. They're foolish solutions. Yeah, get all the foolish solutions. I hope you can fool Trump too. I hope you can fool Trump when Trump comes on the road. Fool him. You ain't taking no prisoners. You start to be a smart ass. Trump ain't taking no prisoners. So you better be a smart ass. Gentlemen, take your show away.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, we have somebody else on the line right away. Good evening, caller. You are on the air. Hello.
Now that oil is going back up on the world market, what
Oh Lord.
what did PJB do? Did he increase the price of oil again? Because
Not yet.
oil is hitting $100.
I'm expecting to
Remember that's-
$110.
Yeah, but he is saying that he will be vindicated because his policy will be bearing fruit now. It's almost as if this man
Sure
wants
is.
us to believe that he knew war was
He
coming.
knew war was coming, and then he kept it at that price.
Angie, you guys don't understand. Okay, what Philip JPA is doing is to try to make himself look good. Okay, he thinks
we
like
know
he had
that,
this
we know
magic
that.
word that
Yeah, we know
he
that.
had this magic word that he knew that Iran and Trump would go to war along with Israel. Now I want to know how much oil Iran produces that impact the whole world and oil prices. These are all political moves that these people are capitalizing on.
Yeah.
And with Philip JPA using the oil or the gas prices as the only form of income generation. So now he's going to capitalize on that and wait for it because it's coming.
We
It
know.
is coming big time.
Yeah.
But one thing I will not expect that the price of fuel will go back to $17.95 under this SLP. Or $18. If that happens,
It might go up to $25. That's how I see it.
Yeah. The drivers are selling nothing. Remember when they wanted to crucify Shashnir about 14 passengers in the car,
Oh, yeah.
in the vehicle. But now that I want Philip JPA to put gas at $45, $50.
Oh, my
That way,
goodness.
well, I'll
he
send
has
that
enough
video.
money.
I'll have to walk to work.
Oh no, Angie, we will survive.
Yeah.
We will survive.
I'll make a
Okay, we'll survive.
kerosene engine.
We will survive. The
What's
people
the-
that are supporting Philip JPA that settled for the crumbs that he's dishing out, they're the ones that are crying in secret. No, we will survive because God provides for his children.
He does.
And God is Almighty God. He provides. We will not suffer. Okay? It's true sometimes people praise football, but this crisis that Philip JPA has created in the country. And another thing
I do
again,
not believe
the
that.
people, the Labour party supporters and ministers that were shouting so loud about who's going to pay back all these loans? How many? Now that the country is $1 billion in debt, or probably more, billions of dollars in debt, a small island nation like this, and Philip JPA has no big project. Everything
Exactly.
is so no big project to show for this country. The country is in. Everything is in ruin. There's not even a hospital. They don't have no medication, no nothing. Oscar, let me tell you something. I am never going to say that I have to equate a hospital over here with a hospital in St. Lucia. I am not going to do that because we know resources are not available like the things, whatever they have up in here. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is human beings, okay? Human beings supposed to have access to clean water, medical supplies, food, clothing, and shelter. These are all compromised under the Labour Party, and they keep winning election. Do you see the disconnect in this? I don't think that Philip JPA and his administration are capable of running this nation in a good way, but they are capable of running it into ruin, and that they have done. That they have done. This country is ruined, and what they do, you see, after the next 5 years, when they ruin it for 10 years straight, they'll find a way because they will implode. Don't think they will not implode. Remember 1982? First, I'm old enough to remember 1982. Okay?
Oh yeah, me too.
So what they are doing is they're running this country into ruins, and by then, all of them will go to where? A foreign nation to live out their pension years. So I just wanted to know if the price of oil stays the same or if it has increased.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're expecting.
But let's see what's happening.
I'm expecting something to hear something by the end of the week from the magic man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Somebody says here, speaking of the South, please echo that the South was to get most out of all the plans Allen had for St. Lucia back in the years 2016 to 2021. But apparently this was an insult to those people. Another says, agriculture is in trouble in St. Lucia. So who is growing what when an education minister was controlling the fertilizer? Everyone is a farmer or a salesman selling passports. Another says, Angie and Foster, I was talking to a popular talk show in Dominica called The Hot Seat, and it was reported that St. Lucian government officials will be indicted in the case with Maduro. Quite shocking revelations. Who are these individuals on that list? Waiting patiently to hear. Wow, I don't even know about this. Another says, Angie is right. One file contains many passports, like 3 or 4, etc. Somebody saying agriculture is in good hands. He has a woman in heels. Another says, Angie, when I had to go through my citizenship, I had to go class how many weeks to become a citizen in the United States. In St. Lucia, you become a citizen in 1 day. Interesting.
True.
Somebody says, Foster, one file is pretty much an application. So an application contains from 1 up to about 6 or so passports. Another says, every CDC used to have a garden, but not again. Somebody says, so why Fedo wanted 2 visas? Somebody says, the loudest defender of PJP Champagne hasn't realized the visa requirement for the UK will affect his livelihood. So let him continue defending nonsense.
He's a defender now?
I don't know what he is. I heard he's solid. That's what I heard. Somebody says, this SLP government destroying St. Lucia. Imagine I live in the UK. I today heard the UK immigration minister said today the United Kingdom passed visa restrictions on St. Lucia because of the CIP billions from the corrupt SLP administration. Filthy, disgraceful labor corruption, liars, nasty, dirty Ernest Hille, corrupt Gogo Prime Minister Philip JPA. St. Lucia is in trouble. Best Philip Pierre call elections. That was quite violent.
Angie, I must say I echo the sentiment of that writer. We have to call for the resignation of this
Ernest,
government.
Philip, all of them. Somebody says due
All of them.
diligence. PJP said he doesn't care where the money comes from as long as it clears the bank. Masquerading corruption. Mr. Bermuda, don't get upset for them. That's what they voted for. PJP went to a CARICOM summit and told the people he is getting a loan from the African Union. Make this make sense. When did CARICOM and the African Union become affiliated bodies? The World Bank, the IMF, and the CDB have their reservations about St. Lucia's ability to pay its debt. So PJP reverts to the African Union. Another says, I remember Martinez told them he passed on the RICO case to the U.S. Congress. They probably thought that was a joke. LOL. Somebody says, St. Lucia, only that Pierre mashing up our country and we're tight-lipped. Somebody says that's right. The other says, Chico, tell the man somebody is trying to get the line. Another says, by the way, how is it that this mongoose gang has not killed this king snake yet? St. Lucians are drunk with Kool-Aid. Another says, mongoose kill snake, isn't that right? Somebody says, so true, God is good. Another says, how the people of St. Lucia will survive under this Gogo Prime Minister? I feel so sorry for you guys in St. Lucia. CIP put St. Lucia in trouble. Damn. Somebody says, good day, Angie. Mr. Chico, happy and blessed Monday to you both. Thank you so much. Somebody's asking, do you mean the hunger champagne? Another says, St. Lucia is finished under the corrupt and wicked Labour Party. So sad. Somebody says, Angie, you're killing me with the dressing and wigs. What dressing and whose wigs? What's wrong with my... What? I'm not wearing a wig.
No, you said Miss Poyot and you always spoke about...
Well, yes,
dressing
because
and her
wigs were very nice. I liked them a lot. Yeah, but Foster, our time is up. Boy, it goes by so fast.
Time is flying. Yes.
So, what news do we have for the people? Those of you who are worried about going to the UK, I really don't have any advice for you at all. I don't know what's going on. It's really
heartbreaking, man.
Somebody says, Caller, these guys cannot even crawl the country, so let's not talk about running the country where they are concerned. Guys, listen. It's a sorry, sad state of affairs, but it is one that we, and I say we, the St. Lucian citizenry, we the public, we called it upon ourselves.
Yeah.
I do not agree that Alan Shastney and the opposition should come out with their mops and buckets and come to fix this for us, because guess what? We put ourselves there.
Now tomorrow, Angie, people are anticipating that the leader of the opposition will blow smoke in Parliament. My advice, if I can advise him at all, could have his own water.
And mind his business.
Mind your business.
Yeah.
Leave when you have enough of stupidness. And if the speaker decides to detain you, make sure that case gets filed this week. But leave the fellas in a mess. Don't go and give yourself any headache for the people of St. Lucia. The people of St. Lucia have spoken. Let the government do what the government is doing to us. Amen.
Amen. There you have it, guys. This has been Full Disclosure here on Fire 107.7 FM. As always, thank you guys for joining us. You've been here we've been keeping us company for the past 3 weeks. Myself, Angie, and Mr. Foster Chico, and we have been discussing the immigration issues that our country is going through, particularly the visa restrictions placed upon us by the UK government. Thank you for joining us. Of course, this is and will continue to be a forum for intelligent conversation about pertinent issues. So we're going to see you guys next Monday.
God willing.
Yes, God willing.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Nights would seem so long. With you I see forever oh so clearly. I might have been in love before.